Welcome to Wealthy Mind, where we talk about all things finances, the good, the bad, the ugly, and the surprising.
Hello and welcome to Wealthy Mind. I am your host, Misty Rose Gold, International Success Coach. And here at Wealthy Mind, we love to help you create and maintain a wealthy mind. Today I have with me Ivo. Hello.
Hi, Misty. Good to be here. Thanks
So,
for having me.
of course, I've had really fun conversations with you, and I'm looking forward to today's conversation. Before we dive in, please tell the audience your full name, what do you do, and where in the world are you?
Sure. So, demystify the first one. So, yes, my name has an I in it, but usually it's pronounced Ivo.
Oh,
Uh, no,
sorry.
no, 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 don't be sorry about that. I
I'm,
was
my
born
audience.
in a British schooling system and raised in a British schooling system. So, Ivo has been around with me longer than Ivo, probably. So no problem
Okay.
there. But yeah, I'm just clarifying. It's spelled with an I. My name's Ivo Perts. I've originally born in Latvia, but it was before Latvia was a country, so basically it's the Soviet Union. I've been an entrepreneur for over 20 years, done business in over four different countries. So that means four different systems, four different tax systems, four different, everything, how people work, terms of payment and these kind of things. And the yeah, so I was living in
That's,
Ukraine and running a real estate marketplace until the war started.
mhm.
And then for the past 4 years, I've been helping scale ups and startups find new growth patterns. So either going up market or finding new products to sell. And or just actually even being just aligned between product sales and marketing and decreasing churn, for example, that way.
Hmm.
And right now I'm helping, yeah, I'm working on providing all the financial operator frameworks and know-how that I have to anybody who's willing to listen. So, uh,
Okay. All right. So that means you're a coach or consultant, right?
yeah, I mean, it's I still like to keep my hands dirty, so I do a lot of the implementations myself, but I kind of have like three levels of engagement. So we have a ton of free stuff. We just made a huge launch on a relaunch of the website, which
Hmm.
has a ton of content, also in the format that you want, so text, video, or actually stuff that you can use. So like prompts or specific frameworks that you can try out for your business and see if what you get out of them. And then I have coaching gigs where I'm just working together because sometimes it's helpful for people to have a third person look at their numbers and not be emotionally involved, right?
Hmm.
And just give advice on what are the options for them, right? And then I'd still do some consulting because like I said, I still like to get my hands dirty, especially nowadays with all this AI stuff coming out. I think it's a game
Hmm.
changer for all entrepreneurs, and I just want to be on top of that. So we're using AI obviously for us everywhere, including also the tool that we've created. But yeah, I really think that the future is really bright because the entry point for all entrepreneurs to do whatever they want is just, yeah, the barrier has disappeared. It's
Hmm.
really
Hmm.
an amazing time to be alive, and I
Hmm.
think the amount of cool projects and things that are going to come out in the next 10 years is going to be mind-blowing.
Yeah, there's so much
And
opportunity available. Hmm.
yeah, 100%. And I think that for the basis for that, like I'm at least the contribution that I'm trying to give is a lot of entrepreneurs, at least I don't have a financial background, and a lot of entrepreneurs that I talk to, they don't have it either. And
Hmm.
talking about money, finances is kind of taboo. And I want to change that because I think that, now that the barrier is open and like everybody can start a project tomorrow,
Mm.
that shouldn't be a hurdle for them not to start because it's really not that complex as long as you understand, like once you start understanding for like the main key differences of why people are talking differently to what like you have learned naturally how to count money, in the sense that like how much is in my pocket is how much I have, right? Like then yeah, just trying to democratize that and kind of have it, yeah, also not be demonized that, like you need to be
Mm.
proficient in finances to start something, or like, that people are looking down at you. I think it's just one of those similar situations where it's like, the way that we go to a hospital and doctors just talk with their jargon and like their Latin words, and they just expect people to know these things, but nobody knows, right? It's kind of similar with finance,
Mm.
and I think it shouldn't be like that. I mean, I understand why it's like that because it's been around for what, 500 plus years. So it's been just stacked. A lot of things have been stacked on top of one another. And the thing that is making it even more complex is that basically any company can come out with any new type of financial instrument, and then everybody else has to figure out how it works,
Mm. Yeah.
right?
Well,
So yeah, I'm
I
just trying to get people to play the game a little bit and start understanding like the fundamentals here.
yes, and I appreciate talking about money. Wealthy Mind is the name of the podcast. So money is a fun topic for me. And when we started the podcast, it was important for me to learn as well because we're not taught, it doesn't matter what part of the world we're in. We're not taught everything that we need to know about our economy and how to use money and how to grow it and how to invest it and all the things that we need to know about it. Are
Yeah.
we in the American school systems? When I was growing up, we weren't taught how to balance a checkbook. We don't use checkbooks anymore, but that was the thing, right? We weren't taught how to balance a checkbook. We weren't taught that we need to have X amount of dollars in order to live. If we don't want to live paycheck to paycheck, like we weren't taught how to budget. We weren't taught any of these things, right? So I think we're all coming into it at a learning curve, which is okay. And it's okay to admit that we need to learn. It's okay to admit that we have things to learn. Like I'm always learning, always, always, always. I'm not a financial expert by any means, but I do know more than the average bear because I'm like, you know what? I don't care if I look like a stupid person or whatever you want to call it. I'm going to ask questions and I'm going to figure this thing out because I want to know for myself. So I appreciate anybody who wants to help break down some of those barriers or the mental blocks that we have around money. It's really important. So thank you for answering my initial like, who are you? What do you do? Where are you from? Now you're currently in Belgium, right?
Yeah, yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. Right now I'm based in
You're
Belgium,
good.
so that's my fourth country. Again, building from here. Uh, Systems are a little bit different also, but it's it's fun to go through that process as well, a second time or a third time because you're just much quicker. It's kind of like
Mm,
learning a game or anything like that. And I think that, also with finances, it's not like at least for me, I don't know if it's like for many people, but I think that like for a lot of people that I've spoken to, it's like they think that like there's just this one way that they have to learn that finances works, and it's not like that. It's more of like you have tools in a toolkit,
mm,
and depending on your situation, use one or the other. And yes, there's fundamental basics like, what's accrual accounting compared to cash accounting, right? Like that's just like the main thing, but as once you understand that, like from it, like everything else is more or less you can use or do whatever you want, right? Like how you plan finances, how you make come up with a price, you know, how you come up with terms and conditions for for that you want in your business, and so on and so forth. So like all of these things are up for the person that's making the business. There is no single way to run a business. Like anybody can do it however they want to. And
mm.
that goes in line with finances also. Like you can set up however you want, right?
Yep, so true, which means there's billions of different ways to run a business.
100% and 100% that like also because there's external pressure sometimes you need to change your strategy or change your tactic or maybe you had a misstep or the investment didn't go as planned or whatever it may be, right? But we need to constantly check on this and it's like I'm saying that like finances it's like you should be having like a health check kind of like every just to see where you are and like correct
Mhm.
anything that you need to, right? Like and
Yeah.
yeah, so that's basically it. And I'm also like through Smoothin, which is the project that I'm working on right now. It's actually short for Smooth Insights. I don't know if I told you that.
Oh, no, you didn't. This is fun.
Yeah. So it's always been about insights about your money, and it's about actionable insights, right? And it's just that we went from having a tool that provides it automatically based on your bank statement. It's now also information and knowledge and frameworks that I'm sharing for free.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because yeah, like I said, I think a lot of people are scared of these things, and they shouldn't. Like depending on where your situation is right now, the way we structured it also is like, do you need to fix something right now? Do you want to grow? Do you want just generally like an introduction into the topic? And then like it's more actionable. So it's like it's really the whole idea behind it. It's more like I said, it's like a movement of like people making decisions and doing action regarding their money and yeah, finances.
Let's explain to the audience what Smoothin is so
Yeah.
that they know what we're talking about because they're like, I can hear the questions going off in their head right now. Like, what is Smoothin? What are they talking about? I don't understand. Is it a smoothie? No, it's not.
No,
What is this website technology that you have?
sure. So smoothin.ai is a cash flow analysis tool that you can use to get straight insights into what's happening with your cash flow. So with actually money that's going in and out of your bank account. So you have obviously you have your bank statements and these kind of things, but a lot of the time bank statements are not clear. And you have your bookkeeper that might use their own systems. So for example, QuickBooks sometimes is connected to bank accounts and you get like your reports. Sorry, you get your income statement, for example, from your accountant, right?
Hmm.
But the income statement is based on accrual accounting. It's not based on what's actually happening in your bank account, where like has money come in or not. It's based on the documentation, right? So if you issued the invoice, it will come up in on that month in the income statement, but
Hmm.
it's going to land in your bank account only when your client pays, right? And if you have, for example, net 60 terms, then there's a discrepancy of 60 days between when you actually issued the document and when you're going to see that money in your bank account. And we're more focused on early stage businesses or small, medium-sized businesses that live actually in the bank account. Like I'm sure this will resonate for a lot of people. When you're
Hmm.
starting out or when you're in trouble, you look at the cash flow. You look at like what's happening in the bank account. You're looking at like who is still owes me money, where do I still need to deliver,
Yeah.
and based on that, you make decisions. And we just wanted it to be a simple way that you do it because your accountant is not going to do this kind of work for you. I mean, you can ask for your cash flow statement from them, but they're probably not going to tell you, like, it's just going to be lump sums and all this kind of stuff. We actually
Hmm.
give you like in-depth analysis of like these people have actually made their payments, how much they've made, in which month, coming in, and also going out. And for going out, we have like different we have different blocks that the way we slice and dice the data. And for example, we go from anything super simple to like just having a subscription overview to just see, like, is anything draining money automatically from my bank account right now that I've forgotten
Hmm.
about maybe?
Hmm.
To
I'm
Aff-
laughing at myself because I recently refinanced my car loan and
yeah.
I forgot to turn the auto pay off.
Oh.
And it was like a disaster trying to get that money back into my account. Like the bank isn't going to steal it, right? But
Yeah.
when you send a bank money that they're like, you don't have an account with us anymore, so we have to kick it back to you.
Yeah.
It literally took almost a month in order for that money to come back. So it's important that we keep an eye on these things.
Of course.
What auto pays do we have set up? What subscriptions do we have set up? What is all that stuff that's happening, right? If it's business or
Yeah.
personal, we need to know. So that was one of those fun mistakes that I made. I was like, somewhere in my head, it just didn't register. And y'all can say it was a blonde moment if you want to. That's fine because I am blonde. But
I used to
when,
be.
hey, before you went bald, right?
Yeah.
Uh, so we shifted it from one bank to another, got a better interest rate. It was awesome. Everything is cozy. And something did not click in my head. It like I automatically thought the payments to the bank would stop.
Turns
Maybe
out
because
it doesn't work that way.
maybe because I thought that the person helping me would be like, "Yo, Misty, we need to cancel this." But no,
Yeah.
no. I'm like, okay. So it was a learning lesson for him and me of, hey, anybody that's refinancing with us that actually has their money in our bank, make sure that you cancel your auto pay to the other institution. Note to self, right? But it was a note to me too. It was, oh, oops. Okay. Well, that was a painful experience that I'm not going to repeat again. So
Yeah, yeah,
we
yeah. No,
need to
listen, and
know.
of course, of course, and sometimes these things are hidden, right? Like another story that I share quite often with people is like once you get, I mean, and this is still, small, medium-sized business. When you start giving the power for people to have like their own budgets for something, or like buy their own tools or whatever, like business owners then don't have an overview, and like sometimes you can get into big trouble there as well. So one of the stories that I like to share is that like for this direct to consumer brand that I was working with, I was setting them up with their e-commerce approach, because yeah, until then they didn't have a direct to consumer approach. It was purely through retailers,
Hmm.
and they were using HubSpot as their CRM, but because they were focused on working only with B2B companies, they had like 400 retailers in there, and because they were using the whole suite, so it was like marketing, email, everything that HubSpot has. I think it was like $1 per contact per month. So it was like $400 for a company that was doing, 25 million revenue per year. No, not a problem.
Hmm.
But then I came in and they also hired a new marketing person at the same time. And she's like, hey, listen, we have this list of like, people that have either bought something from us in the past, or we've met them on trade shows, or, there was like a different channels where we had collected already like over 13,000 emails of people, of end consumers that had bought a product or had interacted with us.
Hmm.
And she's like, let's put that on HubSpot and like manage that in one place. And it was like, yeah, everything's great, right? The only thing is that nobody told her that there's a cost associated to that. And
Mm.
she just said, okay, fine. And she dumped in the 13,000, and the bill next month went from 400 to 13K. So
Oh.
you can imagine how pleasantly surprised the owner was with that.
If the return on investment is there, but come on, oof, that's
No,
steep.
no, it was yeah, it's nuts. So yeah, so even these things like sometimes we don't even think about them, right?
Hmm.
Like we just sign off a lot of the time now. All these tools are online. It's not like you can change the terms and conditions in any case. You just click accept and that's it, right? And then you forget about it and you start using it, and then maybe you even forget that you're still paying for it.
Hmm.
And then like if something like this happens, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, it's like automatically taking money from my account in this amount. That's nuts.
Hmm. Yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
fully aware of all those expenses. Like with my CRM, I have my business phone number, and every text message costs me, incoming or outgoing, or every phone call, right? So I'm aware, and there's an amount in my account that they keep on hold, and when that runs out, then they charge my card again,
Yeah.
just to make sure that there's money in the account for all those um, text messages and phone calls. But people don't call me, right? It's not my
Yeah,
business isn't.
and
It's
that's the
not.
thing, right? Like all these systems work in a little bit of a different way. So, for example, Meta charges depending on the country. So, like I said, I've set up businesses in 4 different countries. They had 4 different monetization models for me in each country. Because in
Mm,
one country, they're like, yeah, we'll give you $500, kind of, that's the range, and they top up after every single $500. Recently, like last week, I set up the card. We already topped it up with $500 to try out a campaign, but then it was also taking money automatically from the card of like two $2 every other day for something really weird.
mm,
I was like, what is this? And like since what I think since the beginning of last year, Meta has gotten rid of all their customer support, so it's only a bot and it's only written format. There's like there's no information
right.
about it, and it's like
Yeah.
take it or leave it, and that's it, and you're kind of like stuck there. Yeah, so it gets really messy sometimes with all these things, and especially if you've got a credit card that you don't look at that often, or
Mhm.
like I said, once you start getting to a stage where you're issuing cards to employees and these kind of things, you need oversight for that, right? So that's basically what we're doing with the tool. And yeah, we're trying to give people great insights so they can grow and work on growing their business rather than stressing about money.
So, question, because business owners are probably going to have this question for you. Does your does your technology fit in with QuickBooks or an accountant or a bookkeeper?
Yeah, so I would say it for now it's a supplement. So it's a
Mhm.
very well, like what I, for example, like to do for us is compare my profit and loss statement to what's actually happening with the bank in the bank account. And that way I can see like, okay, which clients have actually paid in, who hasn't, who still I'm waiting for. But we probably will work on integrations where you could actually then, in the future, we'll probably have an integration where you can just connect to QuickBooks and have both of those overviews so you don't need to do any manipulation yourself.
Mhm.
But while we are growing in terms of number of features and functionalities and all this kind of stuff, so like the real value, like I said, is in the categorization, the automatic categorization that we get from the AI and once we get your bank statement, either from your bank if you're in Europe or if you just upload your bank statement. And yeah, the other cool thing is that you can connect up to 6 different bank accounts. So if you're banking in 2 different places or in 3 different places, you can have a consolidated view straight away.
Okay.
So that saves a ton of time if you really need to look at consolidated things, right? And for every time that you put your data in, you can get the raw data out in a CSV or an Excel file. And then if you need to manipulate it in some kind of way, like if you need to make a report for somebody or for yourself even or something like that, you can go ahead and do that. So that's kind of how we're solving that right now. If we don't have the functionality, you still get the data, so you can do something externally if that's useful for you.
Yeah, so they can share it with their bookkeeper or an accountant if they need to.
Yeah, or even their team, right? To discuss like specific departments, because sometimes it's like, if you have, like I said, if you're already managing different budgets, and sometimes it's not even big companies that have this. Like, I'm working with one small company. Yeah, they have like what 1.5, yeah, 1.6 million annual revenue they did last year,
Hmm.
and they've got 20 employees, but they've already got like 3 departments that have their own budgets, and they're
Okay.
managing their own stuff. And it's like, okay, but how do you have oversight over this? And it's like, well, we don't. We basically come together and everybody does like their own thing. It's ad hoc. There's nothing there. And I'm like, okay, use this. It's just going to be much simpler. It takes 2 minutes to get the data, and then you have specific numbers that you can discuss, right? And then something that we're definitely doing soon is we're adding tags because one of the ways that I'm trying to one of the frameworks that so yeah, another story that I wanted to share regarding where how cash flow kind of saved me and like um what I did for myself was what I've now called the growth mode framework. And this happened to me after, yeah, so in 2014, it must have been 2014, the Malaysian Airlines accident over Ukraine. That was in 2014, I think, if memory
Not sure.
serves me correctly. It was middle of 2014, yeah. Um, so we were deep in due diligence. It was July, yeah, 2014, I remember. And we were deep in due diligence on a major investment deal. It was like the final stages. The business definitely needed the money because we were burning cash. And yeah, overnight everything stopped. Then the investors pulled back. Nobody was putting money into Ukraine at that point.
Mm.
Every moment that passed was another moment that more money was being burnt. And that's when I was like, okay, we need to look at everything from a very critical perspective. And basically, I came up with something quite simple, but it's quite eye-opening once you actually do it. So the growth mode framework is based on three levels of necessity. So you have the first one, which is the essential level. Think of that. These are all expenses, all roles in the company, everybody, and everything that makes the business actually have cut some kind of client base. And like without that, you cannot survive, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if like you're an agency, that means your, internet access, hardware, this kind of stuff, because you're selling your time and your people's time, and that's the asset that you're reselling, right? If you're in manufacturing, it's probably going to be the factory, right? And your stock. And so you put everything on the essential line. Then you have the next level, which is supportive roles. So supportive roles are probably the tools you can think about it this way. So as you start building a company, you start optimizing processes so that you can have more productivity, right? So you have more clients per employee. Think about it that way. So all of those supportive roles are important, but if you have a downturn like we had, for example, like we just couldn't continue fueling the company, right?
Yeah.
So we needed to look very critically at like what is the thing that's moving the needle, what's not. And then the supportive roles were like, okay, the supportive roles have an additional capacity, but they have also an expense, right? So you then kind of have a choice of you can get rid of the supportive roles, just keep the essential, also if you don't need that extra productivity. So
Mm-hmm.
you have like two very specific modes where you know that like, okay, this is the capacity that I have now. Let's say, I don't know, it's 5,000 customers with these supportive roles. And if I take them away, it's only going to be a 2,500 customers or something like that, right? So then you start understanding like, okay, this is the level of how many customers I can accommodate and how much revenue that's going to give me. And then the third bucket is investment. And investment I like to look at as kind of it's everything that is a bet that it's going to improve the business in the future, but it hasn't proven itself yet. And this is the side actually that most entrepreneurs always get excited about. It's the new shiny tool, it's the new shiny car, it's the, like the everything, the new shiny person in the company or like the department or whatever it is. Like because we're optimists, it's always like that one new thing, right? And we
Mm-hmm.
we have this fallacy of over optimizing and over yeah, kind of like over expecting that the new thing is going to be the next big thing that's going to move the needle, right?
Right.
And a lot of the time it's not. And once you do that, and once you put everything into those three buckets, and then you put that on top of your basically budget, then you start understanding, okay, these are the levels that I can work with, and then you choose which one you need to. And we basically overnight could go into essential mode and live out that tough period. And then once we started growing again, and once we started getting, because we did finish the investment round, it was just not in 2014 but in 2015. um then we knew which things actually contribute to the business, and then we could like push a button and go straight away.
Mhm.
So that's why it's
Mhm.
the growth mode framework, because you kind of like, you're a turtle when you need to, but then like when you need to grow, like you can put you can put the turtle away and get on the rabbit. uh,
Uh, the tortoise and the hare. Yes, definitely.
mm,
Well,
yeah.
thank you. Thank you for sharing all that with us. What is what is maybe a good trigger for the audience to think about checking out Smoothin to help manage their cash flow?
Sure. So I would say just go to the homepage, smoothin.ai. The way I've structured it right now, the first screen is really like what brought you here, and there are four main reasons. And then from there, you get a tailored approach and a sequence coming to your inbox, so you don't even need to do anything. It gives you an introduction into like specific tools, frameworks, and yeah, also some prompts that you can use on your own. If you don't want to trust us and you don't trust the tool yet, that's absolutely fine. You can, get your own data and try out some of the prompts that we have, just to get a feeling of like what type of insights you would get.
Hmm.
And the four things are there, like, it's either you need to fix something like right now, like I'm in trouble, I need to fix it, right? Like you're not
Hmm.
there for learning, you're like, I need action. That's one. Then the opposite, completely opposite, is like, no, I'm a student, I just want to learn a little bit more about finances, about cash flow, what do all of these things mean. We have also what we call the jargon buster, which is like 60-second videos where we just explain specific terms in a natural way and what it means for you as an operator. So be sure to check that out as well.
Okay.
And yeah, then we had, if you want to grow your business, so you want to grow cash flow, what are the things that you can do to grow it? Or the other way around, if you want to protect what you already have, what are the things that you need to implement? The growth mode framework is one of them in there, because it's like you're prepared, and if the proverbial shit hits the fan, you know exactly what you need to do.
Yes, 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 yes.
So
So
yeah, I would just recommend go to smoothin.ai, and you should be sorted out. Just pick whatever is what brought you here, and then we'll try to accommodate you.
all right. So, for those of you who are ready to understand what's going on with your business finances, maybe it's time for you to check out Smoothin and see what is available for you. It's an additional tool to use on top of QuickBooks, to use in addition to your bookkeeper or accountant. So check it out and see what you think, see if it can help you out. I know that some of us prefer to have our head in the sand. As long as there's money in the account, that's what they care about, right? But
Yep.
who really understands like the bare minimum in their business? What do we need to function? I mean, if it's a solo entrepreneur, they usually have a better grasp on it, but not always. It's not very clear cut for a lot of
100%. But
people.
if you're a entrepreneur who's ambitious and has plans of building the business,
Mhm.
then it's a completely different, like the first shift that you need to think of is, and this is a big fallacy of most founders that I talk to, they don't factor in that like once they start growing, you're gonna have to pay that person's salary.
Hmm.
And like when people price stuff, they don't price that extra on top of it. Like that,
Mm,
you're gonna start incurring this cost. Like a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we say, like, I'm just gonna do it, right? Like I'll work 20 hours a day. Like it's not a problem. I'll work 7 days a week, right? Because it's your thing. But there will be a cost. Like even
mhm,
if there is no cost right now, if you're gonna
mhm,
have employees, if you're gonna have this type of thing, then even if it's gonna be tools, like even if you're using AI agents at the end of the day, right? Like if nowadays you could probably set up a lot of stuff using AI agents, there's still going to be a cost there. Um,
mhm, mhm.
so I would just encourage anybody who's, even, feeling super safe and confident in their finances right now, learn about these things and think about the future in that way and be prepared for it before it actually happens.
Mm,
Because once it
yeah,
happens, you start getting into trouble, start burning through money that was very hard to come by because it's your blood, sweat, and tears. And I'm just
mhm,
trying to have you keep most of that up front
yeah,
and not land in nasty surprises and just sharing my experiences and experiences of my colleagues and other, yeah, and
yeah.
network.
Well, thank you for sharing your insights. You're you're spot on when it comes to strategic planning for the finances of the business. So make sure that if you guys are interested, check out Evo's website, smoothin.ai, right?
Yes.
All right. And I got the name right. So my audience is used to me butchering names, so you're not the first.
Yeah, yeah, don't worry about it. Like I said, most people get it wrong, and it's not a problem. It's just a joke for me. It's an insider joke. So.
Well, thank you for your time. And I'm sure the audience is grateful for your staying up super, super late. It's probably close to midnight where Evo is at. So thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me, Misty, and yeah,
Yes,
hope you enjoyed as much as I did because it was a blast for me. Thank you.
good. I did. All right, you guys. You heard it here. Cash flow is important. You need to understand it. So get a handle on your cash flow no matter how you do it. Get it done. And thank you all for being a wonderful audience. We love you. I've never said that to the audience, I don't think, but we do. We love you. I was spreading some love today.
The
Until
world
next
needs it,
time.
Misty.
Right. I heard that message today from my chiropractor. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to share more love.
We need it.
Yes.
The
So
world
we
is in a
love
tough
you.
spot.
Remember, business owners and whoever else is listening, you are loved. Just remember, make it a great, great month and a great week or a great day whenever you're listening to this. So, again, audience, we love you and we will see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you for tuning in to the Wealthy Mind podcast. Please be sure to download the Wealthy Mind app today and make sure to support your local Dress for Success.